From the Hindu Kush to the Rockies, a journey from Kabul to Colorado in community-led transformation, a memoir of resilience, advocacy, and transformation by Humayun Milad. Episode 25, Tailoring the Social Fabric of Afghanistan. Challenges, failures, and lessons learned. Afghanistan's journey toward shaping its social fabric has been one of resilience, transformation, and advocacy, marked by cycles of unity and division, tradition and adaptation, external influence and internal evolution. The process of refining Afghanistan's social fabric is not merely about governance. It is about fostering cohesion, trust, and sustainable social structures that reflect the country's diverse identities, histories, and aspirations. The introduction of community development councils, CDCs, and district development assemblies, DDAs, was a pivotal moment in modernizing community-led engagement, strengthening participatory democracy, and creating frameworks that empower diverse voices. These structures emerged within a broader historical landscape of Afghan society, where communal bonds have always played a defining role in shaping how people interact, collaborate, and resolve conflict. The process of tailoring Afghanistan's social fabric has faced significant obstacles, shaped by deep-rooted governance traditions, ethnic diversity, and the challenges of modernization. Fragmentation has long defined Afghan society, where local power centers, tribal elders, religious figures, and village councils hold considerable influence. While these decentralized networks have allowed communities to self-organize and maintain autonomy, they have also reinforced social divisions, preventing the formation of a unified sense of collective identity. CDCs and DDAs have attempted to bridge these gaps, creating spaces for community dialogue and coordination. But challenges remain in ensuring that these governance mechanisms reflect all voices equitably. Afghanistan's ethnic and regional diversity has further shaped its social cohesion, sometimes fostering unity, but also, at times, reinforcing divisions. The country's major ethnic groups, Pashtuns, Tajiks, Hazaras, Uzbeks, and others, carry distinct traditions, languages, and historical narratives. These differences, while enriching Afghanistan's cultural fabric, have also made it difficult to establish broad societal solidarity, as political allegiances often follow ethnic or tribal lines rather than national unity. CDCs and DDAs have sought to bring these communities together through participatory governance, but power imbalances and historical grievances continue to influence social dynamics, making equitable representation a constant challenge. External influences have also played a role in shaping Afghanistan's social evolution, sometimes reinforcing fragmentation instead of cohesion. Foreign interventions and externally driven development models have often introduced frameworks that do not align with Afghanistan's indigenous ways of building relationships and resolving conflicts. While international aid has supported infrastructure projects and economic programs, it has also created dependency, making it difficult for communities to sustain efforts once external funding diminishes. Tailoring Afghanistan's social fabric requires strengthening local self-reliance, ensuring that Afghan communities lead their own transformation rather than relying on externally imposed systems. Security and political instability remain the most significant barriers to refining Afghanistan's social cohesion. Conflict, shifting leadership, and governance uncertainty disrupt community ties, eroding trust in institutions and limiting civic engagement. When security deteriorates, social bonds weaken, making reconciliation efforts more difficult. CDCs and DDAs have created spaces for community-led dialogue, but without sustained investment in peace-building, these initiatives remain vulnerable to disruption. Despite these obstacles, Afghanistan's resilience is evident in its ability to adapt, negotiate, and rebuild communal relationships. However, past efforts to tailor its social fabric have often fallen short due to structural weaknesses and misplaced priorities. One of the greatest failures has been the disconnect between imposed governance models and Afghanistan's organic social structures. Formal governance mechanisms have struggled to gain traction in rural areas, where community-based leadership is deeply ingrained. CDCs and DDAs offer an opportunity to integrate traditional decision-making practices into structured governance, ensuring that Afghanistan's social institutions reflect the realities of its people. Another challenge has been the tendency to prioritize short-term development projects over long-term relationship building. Roads, schools, and markets have been built, but many lacked sustainability because local communities were not fully integrated into their ongoing management. The strengthening of Afghanistan's social fabric requires not only physical infrastructure, but also investment in the bonds that unite people. Dialogue, reconciliation, and participatory decision-making. Afghanistan's social fabric has also suffered from exclusionary practices, where marginalized groups, particularly women, youth, and minority communities, have struggled to gain visibility in governance and development conversations. Nation-building efforts often failed to integrate traditional dispute resolution mechanisms, such as Jirgas and Shuras, into modernized governance models, making it difficult to create reforms that respected Afghanistan's indigenous systems of conflict resolution and communal trust building. However, Afghanistan's journey is one of transformation, where every challenge presents an opportunity to redefine how communities engage, collaborate, and sustain their social bonds. Future efforts to tailor the social fabric must prioritize localized governance, ensuring CDCs and DDAs serve as spaces for community-driven dialogue rather than externally imposed decision-making structures. Social cohesion must be inclusive, ensuring diverse representation across ethnic, gender, and generational lines. The strengthening of CDCs and DDAs can mitigate tensions between different identity groups, fostering collaborative community planning instead of division. Marginalized communities, especially women and youth, must be empowered to take leadership roles in shaping Afghanistan's evolving social dynamics, ensuring that society reflects the full spectrum of Afghan voices. Moving forward, Afghanistan must reduce reliance on external models, instead embracing its indigenous traditions while adapting to modern governance needs. Communities must lead their own development and reconciliation efforts, ensuring social institutions remain embedded in Afghan customs rather than foreign frameworks. Stability must also be prioritized, as lasting social cohesion requires long-term investment in peace-building and security. Without sustained efforts toward conflict resolution and inclusion, the social fabric will remain fragile, unable to withstand future disruptions. Afghanistan's path toward refining its social fabric must recognize that tradition and modernization are not opposing forces, but complementary ones. The integration of CDCs, DDAs, and long-standing community governance models can shape an Afghan-led framework for development, one rooted in resilience, inclusion, and self-reliance. The lessons learned from past failures should guide future approaches that balance historical customs with evolving societal needs, local governance with broader national integration, and community resilience with enduring stability. We'll continue this story in the next episode, so stay tuned.